Welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on this morning. I know you guys are super busy. So we have a great informational session here planned for our master's degree program. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to have Dr. Lipschutz speak. And then Kelly Fox will talk about financial aid. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the admissions requirements. So let me just introduce real quick. So I mentioned your names, but hi, Al. Hi, Laura. First, we have Dr. Ben Lipschutz. He is the Dean of the Master's Degree Program. Then I have Kelly Fox. She's a senior financial planning counselor. And then also on helping me out is Lisa Seifert. She's the director of recruitment, and she is very kindly, hopefully going to help me if there's any questions in the chat. So speaking of that, everyone is muted. If you have questions, please type them in the chat and we will get to them. Or if I see you and you can like raise your hand or something like that. So otherwise, I think, am I forgetting anything? I think Dr. Lipschutz is going to go first, and Derek, we can get started with the presentation. Thank you for coming.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dean Lipschutz. I oversee our professional degree programs here at the college. Our professional degree programs encompass everything from accounting to business, IT, legal studies, as well as our master's of professional studies in organizational leadership. Bit of my background, I'm retired from the U.S. Army. I have a background in management and leadership as training supervisors, facility chiefs, division chiefs, and things like that. Upon retiring, I actually came back to Central Penn, got my degree here at Central Penn, and had the opportunity and fortune to come back as an instructor. Now as the dean, I oversee the program, and in the U.S. alone, right, occupations that typically require a bachelor's degree for entry are one of the fastest growing job categories in the past 10 years. We're expecting to continue that growth for the next 10 years as well. And especially right now in our current economy, it becomes crucial if you want to rise in the ranks of the profession. It's the same reason I went back to the school. So given the increasingly competitive job market, you still need a key area of differentiation, right? And the course offering of a specialized knowledge in the field helps. So if we go to the next slide. What we're working to do here is turn your potential into a career, whether it's a job change, a totally different career change, if you want to move up in the career ladder, that's what we're here for. Right? Central Penn's mission is to provide you an education which you can use as quickly as possible to gain the outcomes that you want to find. So the Master of Professional Studies, it's different from an MBA, which you're more probably familiar with. The typical MBA requires about 60 credit hours or 600 class hours of graduate work, and it's preparing graduates for such jobs as business analysts, business strategists, a management consultant, project manager, or operations analyst. They're all highly in demand jobs, but our program, an MPS, is a nationally recognized industry-related degree, which is more application-based than research-driven. Like the MBA, an MPS is a terminal degree, and it's often applied to what we call interdisciplinary studies. So our MPS in organizational leadership program combines theory and practice in an interdisciplinary change leadership-oriented curriculum. Really, the key points of MPS versus an MBA is the hands-on learning, a capstone project that helps develop problem-solving, communication, critical thinking, critical reasoning, and other skills needed in the real world. And it's taught by industry experts, CEOs, business consultants, and business managements. Now, as I said, we're helping you create career mobility, right? We're allowing you to either take the next step into your job, right, up the career ladder, or even maybe change careers into more of a leadership role in another career, whether it is for profit, nonprofit, government, or even as an entrepreneur, or in the healthcare side of management. Now, as I said, some of the careers, and these are some of the fastest growing careers in job categories in the US, and especially Pennsylvania alone. When we're looking at what we call workforce development areas, right, it's a high priority occupation, right? Managers, supervisors are as I said, one of the fastest growing areas, growing at a rate between 8 and 10% annually in terms of job openings, job availability, and job growth. Again, these are upper-level managers, organizational development specialists, training supervisors, management analysts, financial advisors and consultants with our financial concentration, risk analyst, corporate financial leader, or even as a business owner, understanding the more intricate nature of change management, and leadership itself. Now, our MPS program is actually offered in 2 different modalities, or 2 different manners, if you want to say. One is a fully online program where you're taking 2 classes a term to complete your 33 credit hours. And the other one is where it's a hybrid model where you're taking 1 class online and 1 class in the evenings with our faculty in the classroom and other students within your cohort. So the overall program is a 33 credit hour program. And it's a program of study which we use to bring you into the core organizational development knowledge, right? And then we do you into organizational leadership. And then you find working on a Capstone project with applied research, which we're teaching you the research technology and research techniques, and then you're actually doing the research itself as the capstone for the program. Now, our program starts twice a year. We have a spring start and a fall start. Our spring start actually starts in April with our term year, and our fall start starts in October. Central Penn's a little bit different because we run on 4 quarters a year with 11-week terms and 2 weeks between our term. This allows our students to go through their program a little bit faster than other universities and institutions in an accelerated manner, because we know we want to get you in that career as fast as possible, utilizing that degree as quickly as possible. Now, as I was briefly saying, the requirements of the program is 33 credit hours or 11 courses. These 11 courses are broken up into 5 core courses, 4 courses in a selected concentration, which we'll go over, 1 supplemental course of your choice, and then you have your applied research capstone. Altogether, you complete these 33 credit hours in just around 18 months, which is 1.5 years for a master's degree level degree. Now, the core coursework, which all students take regardless of concentration, are perspectives of ethics and leadership, dimensions of leadership, strategic leadership, as well as our applied research professionals and leadership communications. You'll see there's a theme here in the leadership. We're teaching you about leadership, management, organizational behavior, personal decision-making, group decision-making, how do you influence and reach people? Because we realize this is an applied degree for how to be a leader. That last class then is applied research professionals, where we're teaching you how to conduct research in an organizational or applied setting. After that, you have your concentrations. So our 3 concentrations available are financial analysis, organizational management, and healthcare management. Our financial analysis courses are very specific to budgeting, risk management, financial modeling. It's almost a bridge the gap between the MPS and the MBA for a student that wants more of that quantitative financial analysis concentration. Most students are currently in our organizational management courses. We're talking about organizational psychology, development and change, sustainability and ethics, as well as conflict management in order to how to resolve those personal interactions and problems. Finally, a new one which we're rolling out here soon is healthcare management. And so we're looking at organizational leadership within the healthcare field specifically. And we're talking about some classes in entrepreneurship, leadership, and things like that in terms of the healthcare profession. And then for your supplemental courses, we ask that you take 1 course of your choice. So this is in decision-making, leadership, power and service, financial leadership, critical thinking and healthcare innovation. And traditionally, many students are actually taking employment law for managers to understand more of the legal responsibilities of being in the management position. And then finally, you can include everything with a capstone. And as I said, the capstone is a project to help develop problem solving, communication, critical reasoning, and other skills you need in the real world. So students embark to find a capstone project with a mentor. So it's a faculty mentor that they've had throughout the MPS program. And they're looking at a business-related problem, business something that they see in their own world, in their own businesses, in their own work experience that they want to understand more clearly or more fully. It could be everything from, recently we were talking about COVID in healthcare and stress of first-line workers, or the lack of diversity in specific industries where individuals working, or more entrepreneurial based about how to start a business in West Africa, where the individual is from. So all students in this area work for about 6 months on their capstone project. And they're submitting a research design, going through the phases of research, understanding the types of research they need to conduct. They're collecting and analyzing data from the research, conducting a literature review, all the background information on that topic. And they're informing practical applications for their research that's being taken to their business world. This ultimately culminates in both a thesis presentation as well as an oral presentation in front of faculty and students. So academically for the program, being a master's level program, there's a 3.0 GPA requirement for graduation. You can get lower grades in some of the courses, but we ask that all students maintain that 3.0 GPA, and we'll work with any students that become borderline or fall below that to get them back up to that 3.0 level for graduation. Now, ultimately, what we're looking here is to prepare you for the working world, right? To prepare you for management. And within the program itself, we're looking to demonstrate and have you demonstrate leadership theories, right? Understanding of leadership. We're having you contemplate ethical leadership, influences on values, decision-making. We're having you critically analyze relationships, the relationships of leaderships and followers, and the leadership within the global community of organizations. With our capstone, we're having you analyze, right, different methodologies of research, right, preliminary considerations of research, selecting quantitative versus qualitative research, and then conducting that research. And then through the capstone itself, and in all of our courses, we're having you apply effective communication skills. You're having to talk, you're having to speak. You're working with other students to analyze cases and situations and then present your own thoughts and ideas on those topics. And then finally, the capstone itself. You have to design, execute, and present a research project within the program. So the question is, can you do it? And I always say absolutely. Central Penn has always been geared towards both the traditional and the non-traditional learners. We have students within the program that are first starting into the management field. Others have been in the management field for several years or longer. And it's an amazing mix of experiences, individuals, backgrounds, and it creates a truly interdisciplinary program that help our students succeed in their career fields. And then one of the best things which we can say is within the degree program, as well as the college as a whole, in our MPS, we had 90% of our students employed in their chosen field within 1 year of graduation, or continuing on their career or their education at a doctoral level. As a part of this, we also offer career services to all graduates for a lifetime that you have. So they include career resource centers, exploration tools for careers. You have access to our career expos, our internship fairs, mock interview skills, interviewing techniques if you need help with that. We also provide online job postings for all of our students and graduates, as well as multiple networking opportunities throughout the year. And then finally, if you need help, we do offer individualized career assistance for like resumes and things like that at any time after your graduation or even during your school year here. And then
That's okay. Do you
go ahead.
Okay, Ben?
Do
You want me to go?
Sure, Amy.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're just tag teaming here. Just a little reminder, if anyone had any questions pop up, to go ahead and put them in the chat. And, just want to mention also the student support that we have here. So we do have a student success center with coaches that can assist you with all kinds of academic issues or questions and things like that. You'll be assigned a faculty mentor. So I think it's, I can't remember which term it is. And so now here I'm calling on you again, Dr. Lipschutz, but you'll be assigned a faculty mentor that will help you out and like guide you through your capstone. When is that assigned?
So students who are taking their first 4 terms with their various faculty and professors at the college, and it's usually in their 5th term that they're seeking out one of those faculty as a mentor for their capstone project and research. So you're looking at a mentor that aligns with your area of expertise, your background, and your field of interest, whether it's healthcare, whether it's nonprofit leadership or for-profit leadership, or you're researching an entrepreneurial problem or anything like that. Then you, after having the faculty for those first 4 terms, you have an understanding of who you might want to reach out to. Otherwise, we will help you find a faculty member, either at the graduate level or even at the undergraduate level, that aligns to your interests in research.
Thank you. So in addition, we have a counselor on campus. We have Tom Palmieri. He's amazing. You have access to speak with him on any kinds of issues with, stress, anxiety, personal issues that you have going on in your life. And of course, we have library access, research support. I've been told by some current master's degree students that they rely heavily on our librarians that have helped assist them, with finding some information, looking things up for various projects that we have. Dr. Lipschutz kind of mentioned we do have accelerated terms, so we go 11 weeks with 2-week breaks in between. People generally take 2 classes at a time in the master's degree program. It kind of depends on how your financial aid's worked out and if you're getting reimbursement from your employer and things like that, but you can get your master's degree in just 1.5 years. So how do you get admitted? So this is where you're going to be working with me heavily. Some of you already are accepted. You've completed this with me. So the first thing you would do is apply for the program. It's a free application. It's pretty quick. And then you do a campus interview with me. Now, I wanted to mention this. Attending this event today does count as your campus interview. Some of you have interviewed with me already individually, where you just come in and we kind of just do this same exact thing face to face. There is a little interview sheet with a few questions that I normally get to know you a little bit and write them down. And so I kind of wanted to see who is here today, and anyone who hasn't completed that interview with me already. After the event, I'm just going to send you a brief sheet with a few questions so that you can answer that, send it back to me, and that will count as your campus interview. So you can basically cross that one off. Then I'll ask you for your college transcripts. You do have to have a bachelor's degree to continue on in the master's degree program. And we will be looking for a minimum GPA of a 2.75. If you're not quite at a 2.75, there are some things that we can do, and I would work with you on that. I will ask you for a current resume, and then you'll write a 2 to 3 page goal statement. And I generally tell you kind of what to talk about in there, but it's all stuff people like talking about anyway because they're excited. Stuff about yourself, what you currently do, why you want to pursue this degree. I will ask, hey, how do you plan to juggle all this? What's your plan? This is a change. This is awesome and something new. So you'll submit that to me. Then 2 letters of recommendation. One should be from a current supervisor. They basically are just typed up, usually in Microsoft Word, emailed direct to me as an attachment. And then after you complete all that, I will submit you for acceptance and you will get your admission decision. Go ahead, Derek, you can. Okay, Kelly?
All right, thanks, Amy. My name is Kelly Fox, and I'll be working with you throughout the financial aid process. So for those of you who are planning on using federal student loans, you will need to complete the FAFSA form. Although you cannot be receiving grants while you're in a master's degree program, the FAFSA is what allows us to process your student loans. And we did list our school code on here, so you can add us if you are considering this fall. You'll be completing the 21-22 FAFSA that's out there. If you used student loans in your undergrad program and you have been out for less than 2 years, we'll typically just be able to pull the loans that you've used previously. If you've used loans before, but you've been out for longer than 2 years, we will have you complete a new entrance counseling and master promissory note. We are offering a housing scholarship to students who are attending our campus part-time. So we would cover half of the cost of a super suite or an apartment. So typically we would bill you for $1,452, but if you did want to live on campus, we would give you a scholarship for $726. You would still be responsible for the utilities and a meal plan, which ranges anywhere from $484 to $1,500 a term. So our super suites, you would have your own room. You would be living with 6 other people who also have their own rooms. You'd be sharing a bathroom with one other person. So some students who don't want to use financial aid will use what's called employer reimbursement, when their employer will pay a portion of your tuition. So if that's the case, I will email you an employer reimbursement form, typically in July. Then you'll get it completed by your employer. I will send you your tuition bill in August when we register you for classes. And then typically your employer will complete that form and you can defer your tuition until after the grades are posted, which is typically what employers want to see. So we will schedule all students for the master's degree who've been accepted in August. I will then email you out a tuition bill. If you're using student loans, I'll email that out to you. Typically the student loans will allow even for a book voucher in this program, so you could have your books covered. If you're using employer reimbursement, then typically they'll just send back the form saying yes, that they do promise to pay as long as you maintain whatever the grades are that are required. And then here's the contact information for all of the admissions counselors, program directors, and deans of the program. This is Amy's information, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Amy for any questions that might be in the chat.